credit to support stuff. It's independent. I'm okay with making decisions, and we're just not gonna guarantee these bonds, but the board of commissioners like to take up in committee, Madam Chair, it's your request. Send this into Transportation Committee for us to look at a recommendation on how we will deal with regional infrastructure law caps sharing. I do not support coming on somebody's private property to put in a public road, right? So I want to clarify. We spent money. We're at a place where I don't need more time. I'm clear on that part. Take up a statement, make a decision. I mean, the public also, while I'm sensitive to the private sector, the public sector also expects us to make a decision from time to time. Take a position, right? For the public, this is important. See, conversations, we have our meetings, everything is codified, there's no closed doors, but we have conversations, there's email threads, all of that. So, but you only get the in between, right? So it's important that we clarify where this is right now. And so I'm of the, and I'm sure I'm okay if you choose to take it off, but I want to be clear that we at least take some action to your administration to look at how we will open up the Western Corridor. It has nothing to do with Foxhall. Open up the corridor. Whatever we need to do as far as timeline and dollars are concerned, I think I'm okay with that as an action item. But as far as actually guaranteeing bonds, take a position and say, no, that's what was asked. If y'all choose to take it off from even voting, it still opens the door for them to come back and ask again. We told them no last time. They came back. And so it's like, you got right now, this is important, but you get to the next point, you have this open-ended, there's no sunset on this thing. So 2016 was passed in such a way, they can come back forever. And unfortunately, that wasn't there. So unless we can put a sunset clause in this, I'm done. I yield.
Okay, thank you so much. Vice Chairman Robinson, of course, I appreciate your input, and I also thank you, Commissioner Mitchell, for just with your suggestion as well. However, Commissioner, or should I say Vice Chairman Robinson, opening the Western Corridor is a discussion for another day. I have something else at the table. I'm focusing on Foxhall today, and I'm calling the question, and I'll call it again, but I really want to move down the path. We've been talking about this a long time, redundantly, and we just need to be very fair to the citizens of Douglas County, and it's only just fair. As the chairman of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners, I have been very transparent that I fully support smart economic development in parallel with a robust workforce development program. Certainly this request coming before us, I'm confident that whatever the outcome renders, this Board of Commissioners, we will take a position, and we have taken due diligence, and we have fully vetted, we've researched this project, we've analyzed it from both financial and a legal perspective. And I just want us to stand up and do the right thing, whatever you feel is appropriate, and we need to vote. So with no further ado, again, I'm going to ask the question, I'll call the question, and we can move forward. Just if you call it, if you second, if you motion it once, if someone want to call the motion, and then once you get a second, that does not mean that you approve or disapprove, that just allows us to discuss it further and move with consideration. So I don't want my board to be afraid to do that, because it does not give the message, or send the message that you are for or against. It's just that it allows it to move further, so we can generate some discussion.
Madam Chair, just point of order.
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Just first, just want to make sure you understand that I did make a motion, so there's a motion on the floor.
Okay.
There's not a second. First. Second of all, as stated by Vice Chair Robinson, I too totally agree with what he stated about the bonds. But however, my thoughts were just trying to not move this item in the direction of approval, but more or less give the business economic side of this an opportunity to possibly look at whether it's a sunset clause or anything else that may come along with this, that they'll have at least the opportunity to kind of find something that's applicable for this particular board. Not that this direction of going with the agreement that that stated about the bond approval, absolutely. So with that, that's why the motion was made to remove this item, for them to go back and do even more homework and come back with whatever that may or may not be. That doesn't mean that we agree or disagree. I just think it just needs some more time. I think the project, if you believe in it, it needs more time. If you don't, and if you cast a vote today, I'm okay with that as well. But my motion was to remove item 7, and if you want to go to item 8, but I know is your agenda, but I would suggest and recommend that we remove both items and look at this, whether it's in 3 months, 6 months, whatever, and don't know what the item will come back to be. I'm not telling what the item, I don't even know what it would turn around to be. I'm only saying just remove it from not placing it on the table, remove it from the agenda. That's my motion, and I'll leave it at that. I'll yield back.
Okay, Commissioner Mitchell has a motion.
Madam Chair, just for clarity with the clerks down here, the motion we have is a motion to remove items 7 and 8 with a second. If you're going to consider individual motions, you have to defeat that motion and then take them up one at a time.
Right.
That's what we understand the motion to be.
Do we have a second? We don't have a motion.
We don't have a second.
We don't, okay.
So if it doesn't get a second, it will die, and you go into the
Okay.
individual vote of 7 and 8.
That's correct.
Okay, do we have, I'm gonna start with, do we have a motion to remove 7 and 8 from this agenda today? Do we have a motion to remove it?
That is my motion.
Okay, but
You'll
do we
do a
have a
second.
second?
Madam
Okay,
Chair,
it dies for lack of a second, we don't have a second, okay? So it dies because of lack of a second. Okay. Any other motions? Commissioner Guy?
Yes. We've talked about this for how many years? We hired consultants, Sean was a consultant in this day and time. But, we, were told that there was a letter from the Development Authority last time. We're not gonna come back with another plan, and here we are again. I would like to make a motion to not approve, to guarantee the regional infrastructure bonds for the Foxhall project.
Okay.
And I make to not approve the,
You want to just-
infrastructure bonds.
It's easier to say.
Second.
Deny, is that what you said?
To deny, okay.
that would deny item 7. Is that the motion?
That's read.
I'd like to make a motion to deny guaranteeing the regional infrastructure bonds for Foxhall project.
Second. Okay. We have a motion and a second.